Hello, it is I. Hi. Woo! How are you today? Hi. I've had a great day so far. I went to the VA hospital. They have the most wonderful people working at the VA hospital, and the woman I was working with today, she was absolutely fantastic, and I love her to dear, love her to death, love her dearly. We had a great conversation about. I finally found someone who's in agreement with me about how the VA hospital here in Los Angeles has the best French toast on the face of the planet. And oh my God. So I was singing their praises when I went to go get my French toast today. And the gentleman behind the thing, he was like, "Have you tried our new French toast breakfast sandwich?" And I'm like, "Don't do this to me." Like, I ordered my French toast. I'm going to have to try it next time. I mean, if I do French toast, pork roll, egg, and cheese on a Kaiser bun, that would be spectacular. Um, but anyhow, I was at the VA today. I was there. I swear to God, I was there. I was there, and I had breakfast and fed squirrels, and I found out that the squirrels didn't like uh, the cashew nut clusters that I got from Costco. So looks like they love the sunflower seeds. I was told they love walnuts, but it seems the sunflower seeds are their favorite. They like to bust the shells. They like to bust a nut. Those squirrels. But squirrels, squirrels, squirrels. I love squirrels. Anyhow, I I made it a date today. I went to the beach. The ground was so sandy. Girls on my jock like ants on candy. It was a great time. And I may or may not have made some magic mushroom lemonade and then put it in the freezer only to have it melt and me drink it before I got to the beach. I would never do it. I would never invent something like magic mushroom lemonade and put the recipe on my Instagram. I would never do that. My Instagram is below. It's the same as this YouTube. It's One Man Sausage Party. You can find it on my Instagram. They wouldn't let me. I got a strike posting the magic mushroom lemonade video to YouTube. They struck me. Said I was doing drugs. Nah, wasn't doing drugs. I was showing you how to make something fun. It was a how-to video. And it's real simple. All you do is take mushrooms, lemon juice, sugar, and water, and make magic mushroom lemonade, and it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Check out the video. My buddy Hallucina Jason helped me with it, and he's kick-ass. But yeah, oh my God, it was so. I just had the best day. I had the best day. I found a secret clean toilet in Santa Monica on the pier, no less. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe I found this. It means a lot when you gotta take a leak. As you get older, you're gonna have to, let me tell you. But that's not what this is about. I had a great day. I put my feet in the ocean and I had the best time, and I was tripping, and I was so connected with the world. Like, the ocean offers so much energy. I just plugged myself into the surf. I was watching dude. There's a guy out there on a boogie board. He was rocking it. He was having a good time. It was a good time had by all. Yay. Yeah, it was great. I was tripping at the beach. It was awesome. Definitely, have a highly, definitely, highly recommend it. Highly, definitely. But anyway, I wanted to talk about something. For those of you who don't know, okay, I may or may not be a Comedy Store comic, okay? I'm not going to say anything, okay? This Hello Kitty bag may or may not be filled with hundreds of lineups with my name on it from the Comedy Store. I can't say. I don't know. I don't know what's in here. I've never been in this bag before in my life. Oh boy, I got a lot of celebrities' phone numbers. Ooh. Yeah, it's the what's it called? Sheets from let's just pull out this stack right here. I'll just pull out half a stack. This is 2004. This is the height of my career. Look at my name there after Lisa Lampanelli and Sebastian Maniscalco and Christy Miller, who fucking rocks, and Sam Tripoli and this asshole who we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be talking about my old fucking boss. And I want to say something to that phony fat guy, Jellyroll, who teared up about Mitzi Shore. She was scum, dude. Mitzi Shore was a scumbag. I know this. I know this personally. And I'll tell you why I know this. Because yours truly, Skippysimon, used to change her fucking diaper for $8.50 a fucking hour. Because if there's one thing I've learned about rich people, is they stay rich by fucking over poor people. And that is pretty much the business model of the Comedy Store. If you want to read a really great book about the Comedy Store, it's called I'm Dying Up Here. It talks about the early days of the Comedy Store and the improv here in Hollywood. It talks about a gentleman by the name of Steve Lebitkin, who was a Comedy Store comic who threw himself off the Hyatt Hotel next door with a sign pinned to him that said, I'm Steve Lebitkin, I'm a Comedy Store comic. And he killed himself because the Comedy Store was on strike because Mitzi Shore, she didn't want to pay her comics. She felt it was a privilege to be on her stage. She was a bitch. I know this because I had to work directly with her. Alright, so Jellyroll, I'm sorry, bud. I don't know you, and you don't know me, but I'm just letting you know you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, so save your crocodile tears for somebody else, bud. Letting you know, Mitzi Shore, yeah, she was such a great person. Such a great person. Just so you know, every name on the Comedy Store wall, including mine, alright? That's all the names of people, talented people, that the Shore family has exploited so that they can live in mansions. Because me as a comic, I'm a whore. And the Comedy Store is a whorehouse. And Mitzi Shore was my madam. The whore at the shore. I remember Dave Taylor was just, no one come here. Hates my guts and good. Piece of shit. Named Dave Taylor. He said the most honest thing I ever heard about the Shore family. He said, the Shores treat their friends as employees and their employees as slaves. Never a truer word spoken. When I first got to the Comedy Store, the door guys were not making an hourly wage. We made $25 a night, 25 fucking dollars. We'd be working from 7 p.m. till 2 or 3 a.m. for 25 fucking dollars. And it's a privilege to be doing this. No, I was being exploited is what I was. Okay? I just want to let you know. When I got kicked out of the Comedy Store, I got kicked out of the Comedy Store in 2007 for getting into a fist fight with the general manager, this piece of shit, and over the dumbest thing, over his stupid fucking girlfriend who's a piece of garbage. She actually lives on Skid Row. She's a heroin addict. Piece of shit. Anyway, different story altogether. But I got kicked out of the Comedy Store in 2007, and it was kind of like a blessing in disguise, to be honest. Like, because it helped me break the Stockholm syndrome that a lot of people who work at the Comedy Store have. It is not a privilege to be there. You're just a sucker who needed a place to shine. You're just a talented narcissist whose ego says, I need to be on stage. I need to have my affirmation. That was the one thing I hate about a lot of comedians. It's just like, I don't need to be on stage. I enjoy being on stage. But a lot of comedians, they have this empty hole in themselves. But I don't know how it happens, but there's this void. And a lot of comedians where they need complete strangers to make them feel like somebody. I don't know. My parents love me, so I don't know. I never need it. I would just go into the bathroom, look myself in the mirror, give myself the devil horns. Oh, sorry. Devil horns. Not a shocker. Devil horns. I would recite my mantra. I'm skippysimon, and I fucking rock. And I would go on stage and fucking prove it. That's all I needed. And don't worry, yes. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I was the best every fucking night. Nope. This is messy. But not every night's your best night. No two crowds are the same. They're much like snowflakes. Snowflakes. But I'm going to put this on the floor. I do not want to end up holding. Look, it looks like. Looks like I had an accident. Alright, it's going on the floor. Bear with me. I apologize for this, but. Alright, let's get back to the story. Okay, so, where was I? I got kicked out of the Comedy Store. Like I said, sucked. But, 2007 was the year that Rogan threw me under the bus in the Rogan versus Mencia video, and it helped me. It really opened my eyes. It really opened my eyes. It really showed me that because I didn't suck Rogan's dick, which all those guys do, the whole Rogan sphere, it's just one big Rogan suck dick fest. Because I didn't suck his dick, I was the outcast. I was exiled. And you know what? I still am today. And I don't give a fuck. That's why I'm not going back to the Comedy Store. I'm going to sit here and talk shit on Mitzi Shore because she needs to be talked about because she was a shitty fucking human being. If you watch. I think there's an episode. I'll watch this online somewhere. I never watched Joe Rogan, but I saw a clip where Pauly Shore was talking about how his mom, Mitzi Shore, my old boss, his mom, never told Pauly she loved him. I believe it. Okay? She was a cruel woman. Absolutely cruel. And her children were spoiled. One thing that Pauly Shore taught me is that if you have been handed everything in life, you appreciate nothing. Nothing. And also, Polly has the softest hands and the weakest handshake you will ever experience. It's effeminate and like it. He has this. That's what happens when you do no work ever your entire life. It's a soft-handed bitch like Trump. But anyway, I can talk freely about Mitzi Shore because I got the fucking receipts to prove it. Hey, look, I have my pal Joe Rogan. Okay, this is what sucked about nights like this. Okay, with Rogan here and me here. Rogan, okay, he's a bag of shit, and he would do twice the amount of fucking time. Okay, and so a lot of comics would go late. I would end up, see my 12:30 spot? That would end up being around 1:45. You know, because they're honestly, comedians, they fucking suck. I ain't gonna lie. There's like, who do I like on this list? Let's see. Rusty, Love, Argus, whatever. He's a weirdo. Freddie, dead. Charlie Hill, unfortunately passed away. I love Charlie. Bobby Hill, my favorite gay comic, without a doubt. Joe Rogan, tallest midget on the lineup. This guy I absolutely love, Maz Jobrani. Sam Tripoli and I used to work on the Naughty Show, where I worked for him for 6 years and made $1,200. I promised myself I would never work with Sam Tripoli again, and that holds true today. Even though I think he's a great comic, I think he's gone off his rocker with this whole conspiracy theory bullshit. But hey, whatever brings home the bacon, baby, I know. Just take it. Oh, and my buddy Christy Miller. I was just talking to her online today. Her and I got into she used to work at Gold's Gym here in Hollywood. She got me a free membership of some fat fuck who wasn't going to use their membership. You know, those people who buy a membership around the first of the year and then never show up. Well, she gave me one of theirs, and me and her used to work out all the time. I used to work out there with Andrew Dice Clay, too. And long story short, the story I posted on her thing was her and I used to fake fight like we were a couple. We would fake fight in the gym. Just start yelling at each other. You fucking bitch. Why the fuck? I told you I wanted to do triceps. And she would just start going like, fuck you, and like all this shit. And this one time, we were yelling at each other, and Fabio came over. Fucking Fabio came over and broke up. Is everything okay here? Like, I was dying. We fucking lost it. Like, one of the funniest moments of my life. Thank you, Christy Miller. You're amazing. Sebastian, I love you, but I heard you've gone really right-wing, but whatever. You're still a nice guy. I love you. Lisa Lampanoodle, me and her, we used to sit at the Improv and shred comedians. I will never, ever, ever stop loving Lisa Lampanoodle. But yeah, I know a lot of comedians. Oh, look at that. Joe Rogan for a fucking hour. Jesus Christ. There's me, skippysimon, at the end, waiting for my turn. Oh, look, it's Brian Holtzman. Yeah, great. You can chase away the audience for me. Thanks. But Jeff Richards is great. Sandy Brown I love. Oh my God, I love Sandy Brown so much. She's a sweetheart. We worked in La Jolla together, and this is when I worked upside down. Uh-oh. There's Kevin Rook. Thank you. Brody. Oh, I miss Brody. I miss Darwin Hines, but Brody Stevens I miss more because Brody was... I didn't have a lot of friends in stand-up. Like, people that really enjoyed my company. But Brody was one of those people who liked me. And, no, I take it back. Brody loved me, and I love Brody. Brody got me doing crowd warm-up at Best Damn Sports Show, period, at Fox, and I knew nothing about fucking sports. And it was so incredible. And I don't know, I probably told this story before about how when I was working there, I had the best Monday ever, where I met Ice Cube, hung out with Slayer, and Tom Arnold told me I did a great job, and gave me 2 coupons for free extra value meals at McDonald's. It was just like, you know, surreal, like surreal Hollywood story shit. But my life was like that for a while, you know. All I want to say is I love Tom Arnold, and I I did. I'm gonna tell this story, and I'm sorry, Brody. I love you. This is why I did this. They offered me Brody's crowd warm up position on Best Damn Sports Show, period, and I turned it down because I did not want to hurt my pal's feelings. It was his job. It wasn't mine. I wasn't trying to steal his job. But yeah, I declined just because. I mean, he enjoyed it more. He loves sports. I knew nothing about sports. But anyway, Steve Renazzisi, this dude fucking rules. One of the last good times I had with Comedy Store dudes, it was Steve Renazzisi and Mark Ellis and me. We were driving back from Van Halen, 2007, and I accidentally left my Van Halen t-shirt in Renazzisi's car, and he was kind enough to drop it off to me. And that was like my last good Comedy Store memory. And yeah, I miss Darwin Hines. He was a great dude. But anyway, let's talk about Mitzi Shore. So Mitzi, as you can see all these names on here, Amy Ashen, Nonchalani, Russ Dooley, Lou Dana, Vicky Barbalack. I love Vicky. Oh, look at that. I'm opening for Rogan here. Oh, look at that. Put that on my resume. But, as you can see, more Rogan upside down. But, okay, so Mitzi. Alright, so when I came to the Comedy Store, Mitzi had just been diagnosed with Parkinson's. I got there in 2000. My buddy John Caparulo, me and him used to do shows on the amateur night at the Funny Bone in Pittsburgh. And John was phenomenal then, and he is tremendous now, and I wish him nothing but continued success. He is a great human being, and yeah, I love John. I'll never stop. He's sold, dude. And I'll tell you why. Because I remember it took me, I think it was 2 months or 3 months. I can't remember. We'll just say 2 months. It took me 2 months to finally pull, 8 weeks. Yeah, it was 8 weeks. 2 months to finally pull a number at the Comedy Store for the potluck open mic. Took me 2 months of going up there religiously and not hearing my name called. It sucked. And I remember when I went up, I was number 6. Bobby Lee, before he was on Mad TV, he was hosting it. And the open mic was dead. We were playing to hardly any audience, maybe 4 people. But my comedy did something that a lot of other comedians' comedy didn't do that night, which was make the other comedians laugh, including the audience, everybody laugh, including Bobby Lee. I had Bobby cracking up. I kept calling him Short Round from, from Indiana Jones. And it was a great night. I remember that night I was sitting in the back and Bobby Lee came over and he just he put his hand on my table and he goes, "You're very funny tonight." And I go, "Thanks, man." And that was the beginning of me knowing Bobby Lee. And, now I think he sucks. But anyhow. Mitzi Shore. Did she sleep with comics? You damn right she did. You goddamn right. From what I gather, Paul Mooney, I heard, slept with Mitzi as well as Richard Pryor, as well as I'm not. It's all speculation. Okay, I'm just throwing words. It's shit I heard. Who's that one guy I work with down in fucking La Jolla, and he told me to get mushrooms and he mixed it with cocaine and we had the worst goddamn... I had the worst trip because this fucking idiot... What the fuck was his name? I'm sure it's on one of these lists. No, it's something... Whatever. It'll come to me. But we were down in La Jolla. And he's like, "Hey, Skip, hey, can you get some fucking shrooms?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I can get fucking shrooms. You know who the fuck I'm talking to?" And long story short, he decided to do blow. And I was doing shrooms. And he locked us down at the La Jolla Comedy Store condo. And all I could do was sit in the bedroom and stare up at the ceiling and watch the, like, watch it bubble. And I couldn't leave because he was on lockdown because he was paranoid. He thought somebody was outside to get him. And he's like, oh, I remember one time I walked outside into the living room and he's over by the curtain listening, not looking through the curtain, right? Just listening. I go, hey, Skip, what do you think they're doing out there? I'm like, probably having a good time. Schubert, Jimmy Schubert. Sorry, Jimmy. Ha, not sorry. You put me through hell. Fuck you. Here's what it is. All right, you know what? No, I'm tired of being nice to comics. I hate comedians. I love comedy. I fucking hate comedians. They don't like me. It's time I don't like them. I've tried to be nice. I've tried to be a good guy. It's time to flip that script, baby. But, so let's talk about Mitzi fucking Shore. Okay, so I got a job at the Comedy Store. I got a job answering phones. John said, come here tomorrow, I'll get you a job answering phones. I got a job answering phones. So that was my in at the Comedy Store. I got a job answering phones. And I was answering phones like I used to do in the military, with professional courtesy. I'd say, world famous Comedy Store, this is Skippy speaking, how may I help you? And then I would hear whatever message and I'd relay it and this and that, da-da-da-da. And so, Mitzi would call in all the time. Thank you for calling the world famous Comedy Store, this is Skippy speaking, how may I help you? Oh, yeah, this is Skippy. This is Skippy. And she'd be like, oh, Skippy, you're here, let me speak to Duncan. And so I'd transfer her to Duncan because Duncan Trussell was the talent coordinator at the time at the Comedy Store. And fun note, I used to eavesdrop on him because guess what? Him and Rogan became friends because Rogan didn't have any friends. So he used to call into the Comedy Store and bug Duncan. Okay? So he didn't have anybody to talk to. Rogan was like alienated. So he just would call up Duncan all the time. And I would sit there and listen to them talk like little girls about the dumbest shit. And I don't know, it was one of the luxuries I had working in the phone room at the Comedy Store. That and meeting Jim Carrey, that's a different story altogether. But anyhow, so Mitzi would call in all the time. World famous Comedy Store, this is Skippy speaking. How may I help you? And so I'd send her up at Duncan and whatever. And sometimes I'd listen to their conversations and I'd listen to them doing the lineups and stuff. And yeah, it was fun. I don't know. Because I learned how to manipulate, stuff when I was in the military, like electrical equipment. So it was easy for me to get the phone system there to eavesdrop on different lines. If you know what the fuck you're doing, you know what the fuck you're doing. It's that simple. So I would, listen to conversations and stuff when I was bored. And there was this one night that Mitzi came in at the Comedy Store and I was covering for someone as they went to go smoke a cigarette, one of the door guys. And I'm sitting there watching the main room show. And like I said, Mitzi was coming in. She had a couple of people walking with her because at that time, like I said, she had gotten Parkinson's disease. So she was a little shaky Jake. And I remember I'm watching the main room back door, which is in the back of the main room where the door is. But I'm at the main room back door, and all of a sudden, this little teeny tiny woman. She's short, tiniest little thing. Never met Mitzi before. This is my first introduction. The tiniest little thing with like this scraggly hair and like stains on her like sweater and everything. She always wore white sweaters and always had them stained because, but not making fun of people with Parkinson's. That's just how she would eat and it would fall, whatever. Anyhow, my mom wears tie-dyed shirts just so it can hide like, the food. Camouflage is better. But that's a different story altogether. My mom doesn't have Parkinson's. Thank you, whatever. But, so I'm sitting there at the back door, I'm watching the show, and I'm doing the door guy duties. And Mitzi goes, who are you? And I go, oh, I'm Skippy, Mitzi. She goes, Skippy? And I go, yeah. She goes, you're really good on the phones. I was like, thank you, Mitzi. She goes, go get a Comedy Store shirt. You're a door guy now. And I was like, all right, just like the military. I got an advanced promotion. All right, that's the one thing, okay? That's the one thing. This story, I'm going to have to involve my life in it. That's part of the reason. Okay, when I was in the military, I got a bunch of advanced promotions because I don't know why. I was just really good at what I did. Same thing happened at the Comedy Store. I became a phone guy, then I was a door guy. Then I was hosting the open mic. Then I became a non-paid regular, and then I became a paid regular in less than a year and a half's time, which is unheard of back then. Like, Ari did like how 20 something, 30 something showcases. I did 3. I killed it. But that's me though. Anyway, don't want to pat myself on the back so my arm breaks or anything, but Mitzi. So I used to ooh, look at that. We got the potluck. I used to host the open mic at the Comedy Store. There's the potluck. There's Ty Rivera. I don't know if you know Ty Rivera. He doesn't like me because he does gay jokes. And I just go, hey, you still doing gay jokes? And gets mad at me for saying, hey, do you still do gay jokes? Whatever. Scotty Barron, Elmo Vato. I used to love these dudes, okay? I'm a weirdo, and I love other strange individuals. So these people would make me happy. When you came to the Comedy Store, I didn't find this out until later, but underneath the entrance of the Comedy Store, they have the definition of potluck, which was potluck isn't about you doing comedy for 3 minutes, about you being you for 3 minutes, because that's where real comedy comes from. It's from you. If you're not funny, then you're not funny. It's that simple. But there's a lot. I have a couple of these like potluck lineups that I gave one to Nikki Glazer, her first lineup from the Comedy Store, like that she was on in the potluck, and I have a couple of Whitney Cummings on them. I got a lot. There's oh man, a lot of good people on here. Todd Munson, Mark Mealy, Mickey, Mugzilla, Boone Shakalaka. Walton Jordan, last time I saw him, I was downtown and he was homeless, and that was sad, but he enjoyed it, so that's all that matters, I guess. But, dude, let me tell you about Pauly Shore, bro, okay? Me and Pauly don't get along, bro. He thinks he's my friend, but I'm not his friend, bro. Pauly had me banned from the Comedy Store for a month because I did an imitation of him with my pal Craig Gass, who was on Howard Stern. I went on the radio and I did an imitation of Pauly Shore without Pauly Shore's permission. So what did Pauly do? He heard me on the radio because I was on talk radio, KLSX. And he heard it, or had somebody had heard it. And I did a spot on imitation. I still do. Do what's up, bro? I'm the Weasel. Check it out, bro. But anyway, Pauly's a turd. Yeah, he had me, like, I wasn't allowed to perform at the Comedy Store and all this stuff. And then, like, I found out later it was all a lie. He has no control over that. It was his mom. As I found out, anytime that I got banned, because, okay, that was the one that I used to get banned a lot at the Comedy Store for being me. But since I was taking care of Mitzi, I used to get unbanned at the Comedy Store really quick. So, shit happens, but I was good at it. Oh, Marilyn Martinez, I miss her. She's a sweetheart. Vicky Barbalek, Sean Pulaski. Sean had the best 4th of July parties. She lived in Beverly Hills, and I used to get in a lot of trouble there for walking down the street with like a roll of firecrackers around me, just walking down the street blowing up. Or, oh my God, the time that I was giving booze to these girls and the cops rolled up and they were like, you got open containers. And I was like, I'm out of here. But and that was the night that I ended up drinking a 30-pack of Miller at Sean Pulaski's party. I drank, because I brought 2 30-packs that day. Because I had to host the open mic, the potluck. So I brought a 30-pack for the party and I brought a 30-pack just for me. And I crushed that 30, and I went up and I hosted the open mic at the Comedy Store, and that was the night I made out with Jenna Jameson to piss off Joe Rogan, and I have the pictures, and it was awesome. I got paid $100 because Jenna was like, ugh, I hate Joe Rogan. I was like, yeah, me too, he kind of sucks. And then her financier, this dude Holt, who was cool as shit, he's like, here's $100, just make out with Jenna all night to piss him off. Okay. So I had to fucking making out with Jenna Jameson all night because Rogan wanted her. I don't know. He didn't get her. I don't know if he did or not, but whatever. None of my business. Kevin Rook, Brody Stevens, Joe Rogan, Skippy Simon. That's another. It was the same lineup last time, but different night, I think. Ricky Ramos. Oh, Barry Sobel. What a jagoff. I had an altercation with him. But whatever. I'm talking about Mitzi. I keep getting off track. I'm all stoned as fuck. But, and I'm a little bit shroomy. But, so Mitzi, like I said, she was sick. This one dude, Lance, who was at the Comedy Store, he was Gabriel Iglesias' opener. He was taking care of Mitzi, and then once he got let loose, no, because here's the thing, Mitzi didn't like anybody. Mitzi she was real cunty, real bitchy. She didn't even like her family. Oh my god, I took care of her. Fuck. Mother's Day with the Shore family was one of the worst things that ever fucking happened to me. Because I'm around all these rich assholes who have everything in their fucking life and they're still miserable. And like, okay, so there was Peter, Paul, and Mary. No, wait, Peter, Paul, and Scotty. Scotty's the eldest, and then Peter, and then, or is it Sandy, then Peter, then Polly? I'm not sure. I don't know the order. But there's a sister named Sandy. She's passed away since. But the whole family hated Sandy. I guess Mitzi hated the fact that she had a girl. Because Mitzi was a bitch. She treated Sandy like shit. And I remember one of the Shore boys came up with this. They were like, they said to Mitzi, they go, "Hey, Ma, we have an idea. We're going to get Sandy a mobile home. So she'll have somewhere to live and she can live far away from us." And then all of them started laughing, except for Mitzi. On Mother's Day, Mitzi Shore says about her daughter, "I fucking hate that bitch." Mitzi used to accuse Sandy of stealing her furs. I used to have to go all the time. Mitzi was paranoid. She's fucking crazy. I used to have to go and check. I'd have to go like 2-3 times, check, to make sure that all of her furs were still there. Because oh no, Sandy's going to try to steal my furs. Go check and see my furs. Whatever. But, potluck. Anybody good on here? Todd Munson rules. K West. Oh, I miss you. You're a sweetheart. John Little. That dude's fun. But, Mitzi. So, I had to, take care where... Actually, my old roommate and best friend before he became a racist piece of shit, Jake, was taking care of Mitzi. He was Pauly Shore's assistant. He was living up in Pauly Shore's mansion until he got kicked out. And then he lived with me because he was my best friend. And I had to get rid of him because he kept saying a lot of racial slurs, which I didn't appreciate. And then the coup de grace was we were in the Fairfax. We were on Canter's on Fairfax in the parking lot. And I'm smoking out with my best friend. And he says, flat out, while I'm smoking him out, "The only reason I hang out with you is because you have good weed." Really? After I saved your ass a number of times, and you almost got me kicked out of this fucking apartment? That's it. I was like, you know what? Cool. I'm never smoking you out again. We're good, bud. We're good. Thank you for revealing your hand to me. I don't need that type of shit. Oh my god, Blue Iris. Blue Iris. Okay, I'm going to tell a story. This is my girl. Blue Iris. One magical night at the Comedy Store, I was walking around the potluck. I went outside, okay, because they were pulling the names for the potluck, and I'm very friendly with comics, okay, or was, okay. I'm also very honest with comics. I think that's why a lot of comics didn't like me. The reason why I became funny is because my mom told me I wasn't, and then she came to the Comedy Store and I proved it. I showed her I was. She had the whole entire place dying. But needless to say, um, Blue Iris. There was this one night at the Comedy Store, and I'm milling about. Mind you, I was dating a number of open micers. It happens. I was dating open micers. I was a whore. And I loved every fucking second of it. I didn't have a lot of sex growing up, but I made up for it once I got to Hollywood. Yeah, it's nice out here. Anyhow, Blue Iris. Okay. I did not have sex with her. But I was there when Perry Caravello from Perry Caravello Live got a Hummer from her on stage. Still to this day, funniest thing I've ever seen on the Comedy Store stage. Flat out. Flat out. Next was Carlos Mencia going on after Chris Rock and Andrew Dice Clay and annihilating it. I didn't even know who the fuck Carlos Mencia was. It fucking annihilated. I'd never seen so much electricity in my life. Just annihilated. But Blue Iris, she and Perry Caravello, they did something on stage at the Comedy Store. You can see pictures of her, I think, licking his bum online somewhere. Just type in Blue Iris, Perry Caravello. I'm sure something delicious will come up. Just don't have an appetite or don't have a full stomach, because either way, you're going to be sick. But anyhow, I love this woman. Her name is Blue Iris. Okay, let's talk real quick. I was milling about because it was potluck, and there was I was just walking around. All of a sudden, I hear this voice because everybody was like, "Oh, Skippy, Skippy, Skippy," and all of a sudden, I hear this voice. "Excuse me, sir, sir. Excuse me, sir, sir, sir." And I turn around. And there was this short, older woman with an electric blue wig on. She has this dazzling, sparkling blue eyeliner makeup just smeared onto her face. She's got glitter all over her face and her tits. She has this big low-cut dress and her saggy boobies are almost hanging out. She's wearing this blue, like bedazzled dress. And she goes, "Sir, sir, I have 6 directors, 7 producers, and 8 agents coming to see me tonight." And I said, "Ma'am, you are a woman of importance. I am definitely putting you on tonight," because I knew something magical was going to fucking happen. And I want to let you know something, okay? Mitzi was in the room when it happened. My girl, Blue Iris, she should change her last name from Iris to blew the place up, because that place, she went up there and just spouted the most nonsensical nonsense you've ever nonsensed in your life. Something with meatloaf and toenails. I was losing it. She had this strange cadence and delivery that was unparalleled. It was unlike anybody else. I fell in love with her. And the whole room did. The whole world did. She was an amazing human being. I loved her so much. I miss you, Blue. The world took an angel. Ah, no, there's none. One of my girlfriends is on this list, and she has since passed away. And I'm very sorry to hear about that. Yeah. One of the women, I used to date. I'm just going to get past that. It was very sad. Very sad, but you know what? That's life. We're all going to die. We have to accept that thing. Bob Oshak of TV's Oprah. Look at this. John Caparulo, my boy. Stephanie Escajeda, I love you. You're great. David A. Arnold, what's up? Holtzman. But, Mitzi. Okay, so I was taken over for diaper duty, as Jake would call it. And it sucked. It really, really sucked. I would have to help her. I was pretty much her personal assistant for a while. And it just fucking sucked. I was being groomed to be the talent coordinator. Duncan, I was working with Duncan Trussell at one point because Mitzi wanted to make me talent coordinator. And I was assistant talent coordinator. And I worked alongside Duncan for a while. And then I said I just didn't want the fucking job. And that is the I wish I said differently, because that would have changed the direction of the Comedy Store, because I turned it down, and because Pauly Shore was doing his stupid reality show that went nowhere. This guy Tommy Morris, this Florida white trash racist jerk off, became talent coordinator, and it's sad to say I had to punch him in the face one time for calling a comedian the N-word, because I wasn't putting up with that. No, 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 no. He would get very, very... I almost wanted to rip his throat out this one time, because he called Marilyn Martinez's husband an N-word after Marilyn had passed away, and he was like, Tommy was saying stuff like, yeah, that N-word just wants to take the money and run. I was like, dude, his fucking wife just died. Can you stop being a fucking racist for a second? You fucking racist? Fucking racists. They suck. But anyhow, Mitzi Shore was a fucking nightmare, and I used to help her make these lineups. People used to think that I was talking to her, saying, don't put this guy up, don't put that guy up. And a lot of people were thinking that I was getting in her ear, and I didn't do it. You know why? There's this book that I read one time. What the fuck was it called? The Bible. It said, do to others as you would have them do to you. That's why I didn't do. That's why I live with such positive karma in my life. That's why I get such great. I had great parking in Santa Monica today. I had a great experience in the VA hospital today. Today was just a great day. Like I said, I heard that jelly roll guy. Like, it was put up. Like, some guy was on Reddit saying, "Yeah, this jelly guy jerk off was fucking crying tears over Mitzi Shore, some dude, chick she's never met." Yeah, Mitzi fucking sucked. Seriously, read that fucking book. I'm dying up here. I had to change her goddamn diaper. I remember, oh God, we were down in La Jolla, like I said, for Mother's Day. I was in my Suburban Death Machine. I had this van covered in punk rock stickers, had 3 big Misfit skulls on the hood, and it said Suburban Death Machine across both sides. And I was driving Mitzi in that, and I had Pauly with me. And I remember Pauly jumped out of my van, ran to some restaurant, and ran back with a menu. And he goes, what's it called? He goes, I go, why'd you run so fast, Pauly? He goes, dude, I can't let people see me being in this piece of shit. I'm like, fuck you, you piece of shit. This piece of shit got you here. Fuck you. But anyhow, I used to take care of his mom. And I got some, this is a shitty story. Yeah, I got her one day. We're down in La Jolla. She asked me to get her laxatives. I can honestly let you know, I know what a zombie smells like when it explodes. It was one of the most wretched moments of my life. That was one of the worst things I figured out. Is like, I wipe shit from her ass. Okay? So, a lot of these people could kiss it. Sucks, man. All I wanted to do was hopefully have fun, make people laugh, party, and I was doing a great job of that. I was having a fantastic time. But you know what? I used to go out to my car. I was explaining this to somebody recently about how I used to go out to my car. I used to have the 4 horsemen of the comedy apocalypse. I used to have the Hated My Guts at the Comedy Store. Dave Taylor, Mac Lindsay, Nick Youssef, and Ari Shaffir. All 4 of them, I call them the 4 horsemen of the comedy apocalypse, and they used to cause me so much problems because they're incel bitches. It's like, I remember one time I gave Dave Taylor a drunk 18-year-old and a pill of Viagra, and he still couldn't get laid. Whatever. Anyway, All I know is I tried being nice to comedians. I tried being a good person, and it's just not worth it anymore. Comedians are scum. They're bottom feeders. I'm not like them. I'm just not. That's why I took care of Mitzi, because I felt bad because her millionaire family didn't want to pay to fucking have a real nurse take care of her because that would cost them money. I hate money. But yeah, it sucked, man. And I used to have to sit there and listen to Polly like talking about all this shit. I'm like, oh, I just cleared a check for 50 grand. I'm like, yeah, I don't have fucking 50 cents, dude. Fuck you. You know? But anyway, I used to change Mitzi Shore's fucking diaper. She was a fucking bitch. And yeah, she used to hold people's livelihoods, ransom. Used to have some comedians calling in, begging her, sending her gifts like they do to Trump to try to get some favors out of her. Can I get some stage time for 15 fucking minutes and 15 fucking dollars? You see these spots? Okay, see my spot down here? I made 15 fucking dollars. And it was taxed twice because I'm an independent fucking contractor. Fuck you, Mitzi. Piece of shit. That's the one thing. The Stockholm Syndrome of the Comedy Store does not affect me anymore. I do not mind talking shit about Mitzi Shore. Fuck that place, man. Fuck that fucking place. Like I started going back there in 2018. I hadn't been there in 11 years. I got kicked out in 2007. I started going back because I got in a car wreck. And I saw a documentary about Sam Kinison. And he didn't make it out of his car wreck, but I made it out of mine. My name's on the wall at the Comedy Store. And I was like, fuck it, let's go do comedy again. Only to find out I ain't fucking wanted there. There's a bunch of phony fucking assholes there. They took down my fucking headshot too, those fucking assholes. So they replaced it with Bill fucking Maher. Fuck you, Comedy Store. That was like a slap in the dick. Fuck you. Fuck the Comedy Store. Fuck Bobby Lee. Gay comedian. But, hey, Poppins. There we go. Who do we got? Yorsi, Dave Western, Kevin Christie, Christian Harloff, Mike Faberman, Dave Taylor, Sam Tripley, James Painter, Brett Ernst, Don Barris. Yeah, a lot of people don't speak to me. But there's another potluck. But yeah, I hosted the potluck at the Comedy Store. And I used to sit with Mitzi, and I helped a couple people get past. I helped Jay Davis get past because I love Jay Davis, and he's a good dude, and he really did a lot for the comedy scene, and I love that dude, and he's always helped me out. I did help some people, but only because I felt it was necessary, but whatever. I enjoyed having fun on stage. But yeah, Mitzi was a fucking bitch, dude. She was a fucking bitch. Yeah, she was just very, she was out of her goddamn fucking mind, okay? I remember I called up her house. She had a mansion over in West Hollywood. It's been demolished now, but she had a mansion. And I used to call her up from the Comedy Store while I was a phone guy. And I'd be like, hey, Mitzi, what's up? She's like, oh, it's horrible. I'm like, what's horrible, Mitzi? She goes, oh, it's raining. I go, it's raining? And she was like, yeah. I go, where are you, Mitzi? Because I look outside and it's fucking sunny, not a cloud in the sky. I go, where are you, Mitzi? She goes, I'm in La Jolla. I'm like, you're in La Jolla? Yeah. I'm like, I called you at home. She goes, I'm not home right now. I'm like, where are you, Mitzi? I'm in La Jolla. God. Yeah, I was dealing with that type of shit, dude. Plus, she was like, she had these long fingernails. All right? These long fingernails. And she was always jittery. And I was always holding her hand while she was jittery and everything because she could never stop her hands from jittering. She had these long thumbnail that would cut into my skin. And I hated it, and there's nothing I could do about it, because what are you going to do? Tell us fucking, this, bag of bones and everything? I don't think why were people so afraid of Mitzi Shore? She was nothing to fear. Tiny little thing. It's like Mr. Burns. Why do people fear all fear is not knowing, okay? That's all fear is. If you don't know something, you live in fear. I learned that Mitzi Shore is just some little opinionated bitch who fucking, and also, let's talk about that, okay? Mitzi Shore, she got the Comedy Store in the divorce. She was the first one. This is how much cutthroat of a fucking businesswoman Mitzi Shore is. She was the first woman in California history, okay, to get the business and the house in the divorce. She was a cutthroat. She's not a good person. She is a cutthroat businesswoman. She took the Comedy Store from her husband, Sammy, who she was married to, who she was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar somewhere, I think, in Wisconsin, because that's where she gets her accent from, if I'm not mistaken. And apparently, there's an old saying, don't sleep with the help, but Sammy Shore wasn't there for that meeting, and he ended up getting Mitzi pregnant, and that's how the Comedy Store started. So, yeah, she was just got knocked up, got married, moved into Sammy's place, and just, lived whatever. She had a charmed life. She met Elvis and stuff, because, like, Sammy was his opener and shit. So, she's done some cool shit. But she's a cunt, flat out. She's a hoe bag. Just slept with Sammy and got pregnant. What, is that not a hoe bag? Anyway, Polly, your mom's a hoe bag. Here's another thing, too. Pauly Shore is a piece of shit. He is unfunny as fuck, okay? So when people say Mitzi Shore is a genius, all I can say is, oh, really? Really? Do you know she gave birth to Pauly Shore? Answer that and stay fashionable, okay? If she gave birth to Pauly Shore, you still think she's a genius? Please, answer that. Stay fashionable. Please, answer. You think she's a genius? Gave birth to Pauly Shore? Please. Genius. Please. Please, tell me. Please. No, she's a cutthroat businesswoman. But, what was I saying? Something about something. But, wow, Willie Parsons, he almost killed me one time. That was funny. He was nowhere to be found, so I ran up on stage, took his time, and then, like, afterwards I brought him up, and afterwards he was going to kill me. Alright, whatever. It's a fucking stage time, dude. But whatever. Dom Herrera, I freaking love. He's always been a sweetheart to me. He's super funny. I remember one night the crowd was shitty at the Comedy Store. I was up there eating a shit sandwich. Hard. No napkins. And I started yelling at the audience, telling them how much they sucked. And Dom Herrera from the back goes, hey, Skip, don't blame the audience. And I got a good laugh. And so then after me, I bring up Dom Herrera. Dom's up there. He is a professional and a half. This guy knows how to rock a room. And the crowd was just not having it. They were shitty as fuck. So he starts shitting on them too. Starts calling them, you're the worst audience I've ever worked for. Da, 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 da. And I just go from the back, hey, Dom, don't blame the audience. They got a good laugh. I fucking love that dude. Spanky Hayes. But yeah, Mitzi was a fucking bitch, contrary to what Jellyroll says. Contrary to what fucking Joe Rogan says, because Joe Rogan got banned from the Comedy Store around the same time I did for having Red Band around videotape and everything. I think he got banned for the Carlos Mencia Rogan video. He drops my name in that if you want to hear it. Like, who's your only friend around here? Mencia Skippy or whatever. I don't know. He's a douche. I don't have any respect for Rogan. Plus, when I witnessed him beat up his date at the Comedy Store, that's when I lost all respect for Rogan. Because I'm from a family where men respect women. My dad has never laid a hand on my mom. I have never seen my parents fight. Okay? I am from a loving family. I'm not like a lot of people in the world, and I understand that. But I'm from a very loving family. I love my mom, and I will beat the crap out of a motherfucker who challenges my mom. But I know my dad probably do it for me, because my dad's an ex-power lifter. He's still, what am I talking about? He still power lifts. He goes to the gym 6 days a week just to get away from my mom. But anyhow, What was I saying? I don't know. Something about my dad being amazing and something. Damn it! I got off. I got. My dad rules. My parents are awesome. I'm lucky. That's all I'm saying. But Don Herrera kicks ass. I remember there was one time I was with my friend. We were up at Greenblatt's Deli when it was still there next to. I was there with I think I was there with my best friend Yuli, if I'm not mistaken. We wanted to go there for some pastrami and some matzo ball soup, so we ordered it. And I just remember I'm sitting there, and across from me was Don Herrera and a friend, and I just waved hi and everything. And I didn't want to bother him, but he came over and just wanted to say hi to us. And I was like, that meant so freaking much. You know? That meant so. Dom, I love you, dude. True gentleman. Wonderful human being. Just like Luca Palanca, who's also on this list. I gave Luca some of the best advice I've ever given in my life, which is if you're going to write a joke, try to make it timeless like a song. But whatever. Who am I to give anybody any advice whatsoever? But needless to say, Mitzi Shore's a bitch. Yeah, I used to change her diaper. I used to take care of her. I used to help her do stuff. I used to da. But yeah, she was just a crazy little woman with too much freaking power, and it just really sucked that she, like she could hold people's lives hostage and make them feel like shit. There's no greater rejection than the rejection of the Comedy Store. I know, I felt it for the past 8 years, or what's it called, since 2018. I started going back. I quit going in 2014, so 6 years. Or 2024, sorry. It's the shrooms talking, Marge. But, oh yeah, Cynthia Levin. That's a person that, if you go Joe Rogan, Cynthia Levin, she'll talk about how Joe Rogan beat her up at the Comedy Store. But yeah, he's a man. That guy's so manly. But yeah, Mitzi's a fucking bitch. But what else? Like, just shit stories about her. I remember one time she accused me, like, when I was taking care of her, she was a stinky little woman who never fucking showered, because whatever, you have Parkinson's, you can't, okay? So one time we're down at her condo at the Comedy Store, La Jolla, blah, blah, blah. And she wanted to go take a bath. I'm like, okay, you're a big girl, go take a bath. I let her go take a bath by herself. Next, she's trying to accuse me of drowning her. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm in the other room. You're trying to drown me. I'm like, Mitzi, I'm in the living room. You're trying to drown me. I'm like, she was crazy, dude. She was fucking crazy. Okay? I had to deal with crazy. And not like open mic crazy. I'm talking about owner of the comedy club crazy. Ugh. She's a horrible person. And I have no qualms saying that. Like I said, she took advantage of a lot of people and made herself rich off the backs of their talent. She's a scumbag. She's a cutthroat businesswoman, but she's a scumbag. I used to wipe her fucking ass. It was not for $8.50 an hour. No overtime. Because the Shores are cheap as fuck. If they could pay you nothing, they would. Like they did until they had a strike, and then we got $15 for this stupid shit. Hey, look at all these people who don't like me. Except Maz Jobrani. I love Maz. But Peter Chan. Oh, Sergio Love. That was my buddy. Oh, man. Me and him used to get into a lot of trouble together. I love Sergio. My God. Me and him, I'm going to just... He introduced me to a unique side of life. And I appreciate that. He almost got me $100,000. Okay? Almost got me $100,000. All I had to do was marry this porn star to help her get her green card. But my girlfriend said no. Whatever. Some dude ended up marrying her for free. Whatever. But that was just funny. I don't know. I miss Sergio. He was just a hoot. Hope he's doing good. Hope he's okay. But yeah, there's a lot of people. This is one of the open mic lists. Dave. Dave Attell. Dave Attell helped me wingman one of the finest women I ever had in my freaking life. She was a bikini buyer for this place out in Arizona. And she used to come in and just, she had an expense account. And I used to just, okay, I'm going to tell you something. All right? You get with me, we're going to have not just a couple laughs. We're going to be having a lot of laughs. And that's what she found out. We had a lot of laughs together. Until I found out she was engaged. And then, then it wasn't as fun. But I felt bad. I felt really, really bad. Like, I didn't want to be like that guy. But sometimes you got to play the role that you are given. And that was me. I told her future husband that he had a great girl on his hands. And I felt like a scumbag. But, hey, I didn't want to give an altercation and be like, dude, listen, the things we did in the shower together, I'm telling you, I wish I had a video camera. But she was just knockout. But whatever. Dave Attell, we used to go drinking. One of my favorite drinking stories is me, him, and this black midget who looked like Mr. T that used to take pictures on Hollywood Boulevard. Me and him and Dave would go to the Powerhouse on Highland and get shit-faced back when he got drunk. The good old days. Hey, there I am, Skippysimon. I don't know if you noticed, that's the whole running gag with all these is my name on everything. See, here's me down here. Luca, Tripoli, Sebastian. Oh, look who that is! It's Carlos Mencia. I called him out for stealing a joke off Brian Holtzman, and he played it off like, like the way he would. I was like, look me in the eyes and tell me you didn't just steal that from Brian Holtzman. Whatever. He steals jokes. The thing about Carlos is he steals jokes, but the joke that he stole off of you, he's going to tell it better than you. The guy can tell a fucking joke. He's incredible. His delivery, the dude knows how to sell it, okay? He's just an arrogant, dickbag, narcissist, egomaniac. But I will say, like I said, outside of Perry Caravello getting a Hummer from Blue Iris at the Comedy Store, his show was hit. The night that I saw him was, unreal. That dude just brought energy like I'd never seen and never saw again. But yeah, Mitzi was a bitch. But the one thing that was nice is she used to give me the end of the list all the time, which was called the Kinnison. Okay. She was a bitch. She complimented me twice. Twice. One, you're good on the phones. Twice, she said, you're funny because you're natural. So I was just born to be this way. She called it. But that was it. She was not a complimentary individual. She loved my comedy, though. She did. I remember there was one night at the Comedy Store where I heard her laughing and nobody else because she got what I was saying. There were nights when I pulled acts out of my ass because my jokes... There's this thing I always had called Plan B, which is called Plan on Being Yourself. Which is, if your jokes ain't working, do some crowd work and just be yourself. Just have fun with it. Get into a conversation. Make it funny. If not, move on to the next person. There's plenty of people in the audience. Some of them are boring. Some of them ain't. Just, if anything, if it's not fun, if you're not having fun, the audience ain't having fun either. That's my whole thing. It's just like, it's about having fun. But anyway, yeah, Mitzi would give me the Kinnison spot, which meant that it was the end of the spot, like a night. Let me see if I can find a good Kinnison. But, Dave Mashevitz. Claude Shires, nice. But, see, skippysimon, that's me right there, that's skippysimon. Poppins. Look at that. Arch Fear, Dave Taylor. All my best friends on there. And who else? This another. Look, okay, here I am. Skippysimon. See? Right here. Skippysimon. I would have to suffer through Don Barris chasing people out of the room with his act, and then hopefully there would be 2 or more people left. I rocked one person one time, okay? There was this dude named Brian who came. He was from San Diego. And I said, dude, listen. All right, you're the only person here. This is not an audience. This is a conversation. I go, how does this sound? I'm going to get paid my $15 anyhow. What do you say we continue this conversation down at the Saddle Ranch and have a couple of beers? He's like, that sounds like a great idea. And we closed up the comedy store. I went down the street. Homeboy kept buying me beers and shit. He's like, you're really funny. You know, he's like, and he would come back to see me all the freaking time. See, that's how you do crowd work. But, Metamed. Love a Metamed. That dude, he got me in with Jay Davis when Jay Davis wasn't having any part of me. And back when I was hungry, back when Jay Davis was throwing the best fucking room in a country, bubbling at Dublin's on Tuesday night. Oh my God, dude. Just celebrities wall to wall. And the funniest comics. That's when Dane Cook was blowing up. It was a great time to be in someplace, man. Tell you what. Yeah, freaking a Metamed. I remember he had me showcase for Jay. And Jay wasn't even there. Jay had to go run out and buy a new red light because the red light that they were using to light the comics had burnt out. So he had Ahmed host the gig. Jay had called. He said, how's Skippy doing? And Ahmed just held the phone out, and all Jay could hear was laughter. Ahmed had my back, always had my back. I love Ahmed. And you should too. But Aaron Cater's cool dude. I used to go bowling with him. Stephanie Escajeda, she's great. Carrie Snow, we used to do imitations of her. But whatever. Who's on this? Anybody? Jay LaFreeze, Ty Rivera. But yeah, Mitzi, she's a fucking bitch, dude. Like, I had to spend hours and hours and hours at her house just doing the lineups. And getting paid garbage. Oh, shit. This was real easy. This was MC1, Ari Shafir. MC2, Skippysimon. I guess I had second MC. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say, yeah, Mitzi, okay. Yeah, if you kissed up to her, she was good to you. She also knew how to put people against each other, which was funny. She used to do this shit all the time because Ahmed, Aaron Cater was dating, who's that fucking bitch comic that I can't stand? Whatever, don't matter. He was dating this comic. He made a bad mistake. Don't date female comedians. Do not date female comedians. Unless you want to be boyfriend material. Do not date female comedians. But, he was dating this female comic, and I guess he was treating the female comic poorly. Ahmed stepped in and decided to be like, man. So they would fight all the time over this female comic, and she is just dull. But they would fight. Like, they got into a fist. Oh, that was the one night. Oh, shit. That was the one night I started hanging out with fucking Vince Vaughn. Before I met Vince Vaughn, because he was friends that I met him at. And so Vince used to hang out at the Comedy Store, and we'd, like, you know, shoot the poop with him. And he became, I have a somewhere around here, I have a fucking recording of Vince. You can, like, in the back, like, laughing. But Vince thought I was really funny, and I enjoyed hanging out. But I remember the one night Aaron and Ahmed were fighting was the first night I had hung out with Vince Vaughn, and it was so surreal because I'd seen this gentleman in movies and, you know, Swingers and the Wedding Crashers and stuff, and, you know, I never knew he was that tall. He's like 7 feet fucking tall. Nicest freaking guy. But he just came over and he was just like, he was just a person. He's like, I'm so fucking sick of these guys fighting all the time. Like, oh, here you dude, I fucking hate that shit too. And then me and him were just broing down. Like, I didn't give a fuck it was Vince Vaughn. It's just some dude. We fucking broed out and fucking, he was just the coolest. But Vince helped me realize that I don't want to be a celebrity at all or be famous at all because we couldn't go anywhere. We'd try to go to dinner. We wanted to go to Mel's Diner one time. Couldn't escape paparazzi. Couldn't escape rabid fans. Or is it rabid? Either way. A rabid, rabbit. But, yeah, it was just, he helped me, like, and, like, all he did was play video games at his mansion. And, you know, mansions are like pretty prisons for some people. They can't go out in public because the public, you know, treats them like a zoo animal, like escaped. It's really sad, but I really thank Vince for helping me, like, convince myself that that's not the life for me. And also thank you, Vince, for being very complimentary towards my comedy. Thanks for laughing, bud. But anyway, here's the Comedy Store potluck sheet. Let's see if I slept with anybody on this. Nope. Damn it, my horse status is failing. Ooh, speaking of horse status, there's Chelsea Handler. There was the rumor that there was a videotape of her getting ass fucked on a laundry machine go around at the Comedy Store. I've never seen the video. Okay? I told Sam Tripoli I did, but I never saw it. I don't even know if it exists. I just heard it was a rumor, but whatever. I know that Chelsea had Brody as her crowd warm-up guy for her show. So I thank her for that. Thank you for keeping Brody off the streets. Thank you. But I'll tell you what, Charlie Hill, oh God, that dude, me and him used to just sit down. He was a Native American comedian. And me and him just used to sit down. He had these great heartfelt talks. So really, just a super warm and wonderful guy. Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, this looks like a great show. Here's a pitch for Not in Front of the Turkey. A soap about a Jewish American princess married to a real, honest-to-goodness American Indian and their half-breed son. Starring Charlie Hill, Karen Haber, Steve Kravitz, and Tom Lemisch. Wow, this is hysterical. Some of this shit you find. Fucking... That's hysterical. Look at that. The Comedy Channel. That could have been something if Mitzi got off her lazy ass to bum. But anybody I slept with on this lineup, just Boone Shakalaka. I miss that dude. Fuck. He'd be pushing his shopping cart through Hollywood, and I would just drop everything to have a conversation with Boone. That dude, me and him, I fucking love me some Boone Shakalaka. How are you doing today, Skippy? I miss you, buddy. I hate death. So, speaking of death, yep, there's a girlfriend who died on this sheet. And there's also somebody else that I got around. But I do, honestly, like, the one person that I had relationship with on this list right here, like, meant a lot to me. And like I said, when I found out she passed away during the pandemic, and she didn't pass away of COVID or anything, she passed away of cancer. It was just like, it really, I don't know, I just felt bad that I lost contact with her. But holy shit, I gotta save this one. Alright, I gotta save this one because I got a buddy out in Vegas named Chris Storin, and he likes it when I send him copies of lineups that are his name are on. And I do that for people. If here's an old lineup, I have old lineups from 2001, 2001 to 2007 is when I hosted the Comedy Store potluck. So, yeah, if you need a lineup or something. Look at Dan Levy. It's Eugene Levy's. I never knew he was Eugene Levy's son. That cracks me up. Nepotism. But who are these people? Figures. Dead girlfriends on this one. God, I used to have so much fun hosting the potluck. I mean, it was a party when I did it. So much goddamn fun. And that was part of the reason why everyone hated me at the Comedy Store. All right? Part of the reason why everyone hated me at the Comedy Store was I was close with Mitzi, and I was funny, and I got girls. Not sorry. 100%, 100 billion percent not sorry. But I enjoyed just, having a good time. That's okay. A lot of comedians are miserable, and, I don't get it. I'm too busy finding the humor in life. Because I realize life is a joke, so I'm just going to laugh and have a good time. Because I can't do anything about it. I'm going to die. I have no choice. Let's have a good time. It's like that lyric from Cake. As soon as you're born, you start dying. Might as well have a good time. I took that seriously, and it's been working. But, yeah, Mitzi Shore's a fucking bitch. I'm trying to think what other slimy shit she used to do. Oh, God. I used to have to cut up Mitzi's food in their kitchen, and I saw a porn that Pauly Shore him and his porn star girlfriend were having sex in Mitzi's kitchen on the cutting block that I was cutting up her food on, that I unfortunately witnessed on somebody's computer from the Comedy Store. And also, yeah, don't sleep with Pauly. Whatever you do, you're going to get bumps. Yeah, you're going to get bumps. So just don't. Not allegedly either. You will get bumps. But, yeah, Mitzi, she is just a horrible, horrible person, and exploited a lot of people. You got to figure, okay? She didn't pay anybody. Comedy Store's been open. It was open from 1972? From 1972 to 1977, comedians didn't get paid. No money. She paid them in cigarettes and bubble gum. That's some scumbag shit. She's making millions of dollars. And there's comedians living in their fucking cars. But everyone kisses her. I never understood why people kissed her fucking ass. I get it's for these shits. But the reason why I got him is because I was fucking funny. Before I was wiping her fucking ass. Part of the reason why I was wiping her ass is because she didn't trust anybody at the Comedy Store. She trusted no one. But she really liked me. That was my fault for being nice. But yeah, I had to wipe her fucking ass. I saw the hole that Pauly Shore shot out of. Not a pretty place, dude. But the fact that I even had to do it, the fact that I was chosen as a comedian, I did not go to the Comedy Store to get Mitzi Shore's shit under my fingernails. It was hideous. You don't know the fucking shit that I've fucking been through. I remember when I got back from Mother's Day with the Shore family in La Jolla, Tommy, the talent coordinator, he asked me, so what was it like? And I go, do you remember the ending of Apocalypse Now? He's like, yeah. I go, the horror. The horror. It was that fucking bad. It was that fucking bad. Like, nightmarish. Because I had 24 hours a day I had to be on service to this little fucking Yoda person. It sucked, man. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to, have a good time, rub up on some strippers and porn stars, and hopefully get my tip wet. I'm an entertainer. That's what we do. But Mitzi Shore's a fucking bitch. I don't care what anyone says, man. You can tell me she was the greatest person on earth. You can tell me she did so much for your comedy career. She fucked mine up. Okay? She fucked mine up. In 2002, I got approached by Shelby Chong, who's Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong's wife. Tommy was in jail for Chong's bongs. She approached me at the Comedy Store, took me over to the Mondrian Hotel across the street to her hotel room, and smoked me out with some damn good weed and said, I want to manage you. She gave me her business card. It had a picture of her and Tommy Chong on it. She said to me, I want to manage you. And I said, okay, let me just go see if it's all right. Because I didn't know her from a box of rocks, bags of hammers. I was so new to the business, I just needed an opinion. All right? And so I went to Mitzi. And I saw her at the Comedy Store. I go, hey, Mitzi, I got approached by management last night. She goes, who? And I showed her the card. And I handed her, I go, hey, look, it's Shelby Chong. She goes, let me see that. She takes the card. She's looking at it. I'm not letting you sign with her. And I go, why not, Mitzi? She goes, she's crazy. Not realizing at that moment that a crazy woman, Mitzi Shore, was calling another woman crazy. Okay? I can only think about how my life trajectory would be so different right now if I had signed with Shelby Chong. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. I got the card taken away from me, and I was just told not to. So I didn't. I keep thinking about all the amazing weed I could have smoked. I keep thinking about all the shows I could have opened for Cheech and fucking Chong. But that got taken away from me. Why? Because Mitzi Shore did to me what she couldn't do to David Letterman. She wanted to keep David Letterman at the Comedy Store. She didn't want him moving to New York to do Late Night with David Letterman. Why? Because he was good business. And I was good for business. I found out from one of the talent, from Tommy, the talent coordinator one night. He said, Mitzi likes it when you're on stage because people drink more. So I was a business decision to help boost alcohol sales. And I'm still getting paid $15 fucking in tax twice. But, hey. That's the life of a comedian, baby. Nobody promised you fame, and I don't even want it now. I just want to have a good time. I'm releasing my comedy special soon. If it makes me famous, cool. If it doesn't, it's not for you. It's for me. I just want to have a good time. Me and my buddy were like, fuck it, let's do an art project. Let's do something that's so against the grain that, because I wanted to make my own Netflix special. But what would a Netflix special be like if you didn't get Netflix's approval? So that's what we did. And it's turning out pretty fucking epic. But I'm going to be releasing... Oh, no, by the time you see this video... No, I'm going to release this tonight. I'll probably have the video up by tomorrow. But, yeah, Mitzi Shore is she's a fucking asshole. Fucking bitch. Fucking... I can't say anything nice about her. I can't. Because she wasn't good for me. She was just another toxic female in my life. You know, there was a sad point in my life where I actually trusted Mitzi Shore more than I trusted my own mother. You know, but my mother doesn't. She doesn't think I'm funny, so I don't care. I mean, she thinks that guy on Fox News is funny. So yeah, our senses of humor are completely different. But anyhow, Mitzi Shore, thanks for all the $15 spots that helped me pay my fucking part of my phone bill. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Look at that. Leslie Jones, my girl. Leslie is a monster. That girl can rock a fucking stage. I love Leslie. She's one of the best people. Oh God, the I was some dude came into town. I met some dude. I forgot. Like we went to the comedy store. He wanted to go to the comedy store. I was like, all right, fuck it. Went to the comedy store, and I introduced him to Leslie Jones. And I told him the story about how me and Leslie did comedy in front of Eddie Murphy, and I fucking ate shit, and like Eddie hated me, and I was doing my black jokes bit, and she was like, "Oh no, I bombed that night too." I was like, "No, you didn't. You fucking killed it." And I was like telling her like I was like the funniest thing of the night for me is when you were like walking around with the cordless microphone describing everything that was in the place because we weren't going on. We got there at 2 a.m. The show didn't start till 4:30 in the morning. Okay, but I just remember her walking around with this cordless mic. We're just trying to entertain ourselves until people show up, right? And she's walking around, and then she turns around, and she is right in Eddie Murphy's face. Eddie fucking Murphy, okay? Right in Eddie Murphy's face. And she just goes, ah! And just screams at Eddie Murphy's face, and I was just dying. I got a funny Eddie Murphy story. Eddie Murphy came to the comedy store, and my buddy who was working a lot could not get his Bentley in reverse. He couldn't get it in gear. And I was like, well, I'm from a family of gearheads. I know what to do. You got to pull up on the gear shift. So he let me drive Eddie Murphy's Bentley. And when I was parking it, okay, I said, I'm never going to get the opportunity to do this again. So what I did was I just lifted a cheek and just farted in Eddie Murphy's Bentley. And I think it was karma. Like I said, I'm all about like good karma. I put some negative karma in Eddie Murphy's car, and that's why he hated my set. That, and probably because I went on at 5:30 in the fucking morning. But whatever, it was an after-hours club. That was a crazy night. How I got out of there alive, I'll never know. But anyhow, yeah, Mitzi was a fucking bitch. God, dealing with her. God, she was so contradictory all the time. Like I said, like, you know, I'd be like calling her up and she'd say, I'm in La Jolla, and you're meanwhile she's in Beverly Hills. I'm like, God. Yeah, she was a fucking paid us nothing. Like I said, until this one manager named Shelly showed up, they did not get an hourly wage at the comedy store. We got paid $25 fucking dollars a night. I got paid $15 to be in the original room, and you got to cut at the door in the main room. And the main room was only open on like Saturday, so no money to be had at the comedy store. Fuck yeah, Willie Tyler and Lester. Oh my God, I grew up with that dude. Just the fact that I used to work with Willie Tyler and Lester. Yes, I'm here, but here's Willie Tyler and Lester. Fuck yeah, dude. I made it with all the superstars. Fuck you. What'd you ever do, huh? What did you ever fucking do with your life, huh? Tell you what I did. I worked with Willie Tyler and fucking Lester. I loved him, dude. When I was growing up, I had the fucking Willie Tyler doll. I fucking told him about it. My God. I love being able to bro down with him, dude. Like, I loved being able to just, like, bro down with all my heroes. I remember, oh, God. Jeff Altman was this guy I used to watch. He used to be on David Letterman all the time. And when I got off stage the first time as paid regular at the Comedy Store, and, like, he put his arm around me. He's like, you're really funny, Skippy. And I go, I learned it from watching you, Jeff. And that for me was one of the most incredible moments of my life, to tell one of my mentors right there, who I just got off stage doing my first set at the Comedy Store, fucking killing it, get off stage, my mentor goes, you're really funny. And thank you, Jeff. Anyhow, man, I'm just going long. Yeah, Mitzi was a fucking cunt. But anyhow, I needed to say this because, like I said, I was tripping today, and I saw that thing about fucking potluck. Anybody here I had sex with? Yes. Ooh. 2. Ooh, keep it hush hush. You don't see nothing. But anyway. Oh, Julia Lillis. She's a sweetheart. A lot of the guys used to pick on Julia at the Comedy Store, and I hated that. She is a veteran, and I salute you, sweetheart. You're Josh Nasser. Josh Nasser, I fucking love you. Your videos make me laugh. You're a goofball. I fucking love you, dude. Kelly Curson, I'm sorry I was stuck with you in La Jolla with you and Jimmy Schubert. You guys locked me out of the Comedy Store condo so you could have coked out sex or whatever. But hey, whatever. I'll let it slide. But look at all these people I work with. All these peoples. I love Yorcie. But anyhow, Mitzi Shore's a fucking bitch, and she helped a lot of these people not feel good about themselves. Especially Yorcie. This guy dealt a bad hand at the Comedy Store. Especially when fucking Tommy, the racist like talent coordinator, came into play. Because Yorcie didn't get no spots, man. No spots. After his racist ass showed up, forget it. No more black folk. But Fred Burns? Who is that? Did I work with Fred Burns? Who the fuck is Fred Burns? But, I don't know. But yeah, Mitzi Shore was a fucking bitch. I used to have to wipe her ass. I used to fucking... God, when she exploded, that was horrible. I remember there was one time the Comedy Store in La Jolla caught on fire. Okay? The Comedy Store in La Jolla had vines around it, and an electrical wire or something detached from the power line, and it caught the vines on fire outside the Comedy Store. We get a phone call, and they say, oh, yeah, Comedy Store on fire. We gotta go to Comedy Store on fire. I'm like, all right. So I had to shuffle her, and it was nightmarish because we're in a hurry. Have you ever been in a hurry with an 85-year-old fucking Parkinson's patient? It's difficult to be in a hurry. So, young Miss Mitzi Shore, I get her all buckled in and everything, and we're rushing to get to the burned down Comedy Store or whatever. And she's like, no, you're not driving fast enough. Take this road over here. And I turned down the street. It's the wrong street. I even told her, I'm like, Mitzi, it's the wrong street. I've driven up here a million times. We're going on. No, you turn here. You turn here. So I turned there, and I go, Mitzi, it's the wrong street. She goes, no, it's not. You're driving wrong. I go, Mitzi, why don't you do me a favor? Shut the fuck up and let me drive, because that's what I'm here to do. And then she shut the fuck up and let me fucking drive to the Comedy Store. And then we went there, and I brought her out. She didn't talk to me the rest of the day. I didn't give a fuck. I had to put her in her fucking place. You know, I'm like, I know where I'm fucking going. I've driven you around in your Comedy Store van how many fucking times? I don't know. Sorry, I don't mean to get all fucking bent out of shape over situations that are long gone, but yeah, Mitzi Shore's a fucking cunt. But I unfortunately, like I said, had to. And like all the comedians just started hating me, except Brody Stevens, because I was in good with Mitzi, because she was comfortable around me, and I was comfortable with her because I treat people with the decency and respect I think they deserve. You know, and I'm a nice person, you know, and why I got sucked into the whole fucking family. That's the part that sucked, man. I got too close to the fire and I got burned. The family fucking hates me, but I don't give a shit. I fucking hate them too. So, except Scotty, he's cool. Scotty's cool, man. Paul Mooney. Oh, God, I got a story, man. I dropped the N-bomb on Paul one night, joking around, only to find out he doesn't like hearing that word, even though his entire act was saying that word over and over and over and over and over again. So, Paul, this one night at the Comedy Store, bumps me, okay? Does an hour and a half, and I'm like, he's a legend. I'm not going to fucking get pissed off, okay? He was doing great, because he does Paul Mooney. He says, oh, homie. You know, just gets all uppity and everything and blah, 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 blah. Holy shit. I remember I saw him after that, and he did not want to talk to me. But what happened was Paul got off stage, and like after an hour and a half of being just demolished by Paul Mooney, all you want to do is take a piss or go do something. The people just didn't want to see me. They just want to go do something else. You know, they had already seen a show. And so Paul gets off stage, and I go, hey, give it up for Paul Mooney. That's one funny N-word. And he goes, oh, homie. Oh, no, you didn't. And then just turned the entire audience again. I'm like, really, Paul? I'm like, really? You're doing this to me? I go, really? I jokingly say that, oh no, homie, no joke here. I go, you just said it for fucking an hour and a half, and now it's no joke. And I just challenged him on it. But he didn't talk to me after that. But I will say this, his sons, the Mooney Twins, are fucking awesome. And I really enjoyed hanging out with them. But Paul, I tried being nice to you. I even tried giving you free coffee at Starbucks when I worked there. I used to give Andrew Dice Clay free fucking frappuccinos all the time. But that was the days. But Reggie McFadden, who's that? John Reap. Frankie Lemmerman, oh my god, there's a name I haven't heard in forever. He was like the Germany's Pauly Shore. Me and him used to get in so much trouble. He used to, like, I never had a prostitute in my life. I just don't trust, like, dirty vaginas or anything. That's why I don't sleep around. And he was always like, no, let me buy you a high-end prostitute. Let me get you a high-end hooker. Let me get you a high-end escort. I'm like, it's not my thing, dude. You know, here's my thing. If I can't get her myself, I don't want her. Okay? Like, I've turned down a lot of women who wanted me, but I didn't want them. Sorry, ladies, but... Anyhow, Frankie was great. Me and him lit West Hollywood on fire one time, and it was hysterical. We were drunk and tripping, and we found a bunch of, like, dry palm fronds that were laying down in the middle of the street. So we made a bonfire. We made this huge pile of palm fronds and lit it on fire, and just... Those were the days, bro. John Reap, I helped him make his CD of music for his show. And then a friend of mine who was living in Ohio, my buddy Heather, went to John Reap's show, and she was like, why did I hear your voice at John Reap's show? And I was like, probably because I'm on his CD. Whatever. And pat yourself on the back again. Mitzi Shore is a fucking bitch. That's all I'm saying. You know, you can have the Mitzi bar down at the mothership out in fucking Austin. That is it. If you don't believe me, Joe Rogan is CIA. What is comedy in Austin? Huh? CIA. He's a government fucking agent, bro. Mothership. You know what cracks me up? Both of his rooms are named after bombs. Why? Because that's what he does the best. That's all Rogan does. He is the king of the bombs, and he dropping nuclear bombs. He got Fat Man and Little Boy. Those are the rooms you can bomb in. Yeah, because Rogan's the bomb. He's as fucking cool as Nickelback. But speaking of, there's my buddy, good old Joe Rogan. But yeah, John Reap. I don't know what happened to him. He's a good dude though. But yeah, Mitzi was a fucking bitch. I missed this show. Wonder what I was doing. Where was I on the list? Oh, I was right there after Sandy. But at least I came and fucking got the thing. But, alright, there's more. But yeah, I took care of Mitzi Shore. Jellyroll, you're full of shit, dude. Mitzi is not worth the accolades that she's getting from Joe Rogan or anybody else. Because the Comedy Store is, first and foremost, a business. All you are to them is another fucking drink sale or a fucking ticket purchase. That's it. That's all comedians are. We're fucking prostitutes for comedy clubs. And it's really sad. And it really disgusts me that more comedians don't stand up for, or even like ask for more money at the comedy clubs that they're working at. It's really sad. But whatever. I decided a while back that, these clubs just ain't for me anymore, and I'm quitting going because, like I said, I started going back to the Comedy Store in 2018. Got nothing but disrespect until 2024, where I was finally like, you know what? I just can't do this to myself. I understand they put me, I had so many on my Instagram that, I was dead fucking last on every show on Monday night at the Comedy Store. But I turned it into a positive because that's when I would sell weed and shrooms to fucking comedians, broke asses. And, yeah, I tried to turn it into a positive. But unfortunately, comedians are awful, horrible, shitty fucking people, and I can't stand being around them. So I don't anymore. I just, it's like you get to a point where it's like, it's like, They're not my friends. They're shitty coworkers. That's all they are. These are lists of shitty coworkers. Some of them I like. It's just like work. Some people I love. Some people I couldn't give two fucks about. It's just work. If you're still thinking the Comedy Store is the see-all, do-all, end-all of your comedy career, though, please choose another path. Also, if you move to Austin, all you're doing is sucking Joe Rogan's dick. You're just sucking Joe Rogan's dick. Don't be fooled by the whole Kill Tony fucking illusion that you're going to be a famous comedian or something overnight. I wish you luck. I wish you luck. I have been spending over 25 years trying to be an overnight sensation, so yeah, I wish you the best of luck. But, okay, it's 2004. Who's on this? Vicky Barbalack, Mike Favorman, Argus Hamilton, Sandy, Skippy, Retha. I love Retha. Dave Attell. Alright, I'm going to put this away for another day. Yeah, Mitzi Shore is a fucking bitch who just exploited comedic talent for her own personal gain. Kind of like what Rogan and Hinchcliffe are doing right now. They exploit talent for their own personal gain, because that's what a comedy club is, and that's what Kill Tony is. Kill Tony, if you go to the Comedy Store, you can see where Kill Tony got its idea from, which is the Ding Dong Show. Although I don't recommend the Ding Dong Show, it's kind of stupid. But it's kind of where the idea was taken from. But, I mean, hey, wish them all the best of luck. I'm not that much of a hater. You found your gold mine. Tony, you are not funny. Rogan, you are fucking not funny. So enjoy your podcast and enjoy your sucking Trump's dick and enjoy your VIP tickets with Alex Jones to Bohemian Grove. And, yeah, Tony, thanks for taking the American Idol tryouts and making it into a weekly event. So, yeah, way to go, guys. Top notch. Mitzi Shore is a fucking bitch, I know, because I changed her goddamn diaper. And I've never heard your music, Jellyroll, but I'm confident I probably wouldn't like it, because country music sucks. Yeah, I said it. Alright, I'm out of here. I'm going to post this fucker. I want to smoke some weed. It's my damn daddy. And my sluggers. My happy place. Alright. Mitzi Shore's a fucking bitch. Alright, I'm out of here. Take care. Stay awesome. I'm skippysimon. Bye.